G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping straight into Go Battle League, and as you can see, currently rank 7 and looking to get to rank 10. So we'll jump straight into Little Cup, and I am running Chinchou, Bronzor and Deino, all running the standard double moves for those types. So Chinchou running Bubble Beam and Thunderbolt, Bronzor, Confusion, Psyshock and Heavy Slam, and then Deino, Dragon Breath, Body Slam and Crunch. So first game, out comes a Cubone. Obviously it's a good matchup and bad matchup for me because being an electric type as well, Cubone's Mud Slap's going to be super effective against Chinchou. So sort of a neutral, fairly neutral matchup. They swap in Cottony, which gives me perfect opportunity to swap in my own my Bronzor, because it's going to do absolutely no damage to it. I am expecting the Cubone to come out, so what I'll do is save up a little bit of extra energy like I did there, so I've got a move to throw straight away. I'm not going to shield up the move from Cubone, because I don't want to give it an opportunity to charge up any extra energy. So through comes the Cubone, going to be throwing another Bone Club at me there, so good job overcharging that energy, and then wanting to save up a Bubble Beam there, and then I'll swap in and see what they've got in the back. So in the back, no surprise, there is a Bronzor, so absolutely going to be the Pokemon that is in pretty much everybody's team, my own included. So Bronzor, really strong in this league, and because I've now got Crunch, got that second move on there, Deino can, especially with a shield advantage, absolutely go to town and take this match. So really good game right there. So happy with that one. So we'll jump straight into the next one. Again, still running, same team. So the reason I like Chinchou on the lead is because, well, it's got a reasonable type coverage. So the one you don't really want to see is a Cottony. Cottony on the lead is awful, but I would much rather see a Cottony on the lead than hit it in the back to be matched up against Deino. So this is what I really need to do. So for this one, I won't shield up if they decide to throw a charge move. They're not throwing a charge move, so I will get to a second Bubble Beam here, and I should be able to get it into the yellow before it fully farms me down. And then we'll switch into Bronzor and then go to town farming, because it's been double debuffed now. It's just going to do absolutely no damage to me. So what I do here is look to absolutely go to town farming this thing down. So we'll see what they've got in the back, well, one of which to start with, and see how we get matched up. So as you can see, I've obviously got a lot of extra energy saved, because I was able to fully farm down the Cottony. So almost had back-to-back size strikes, and going to throw both of those now. So there's both of those shields, which is absolutely perfect. So I'm not going to shield this up, I'm just going to let this go. And it is the Aqua Tail, so that's absolutely spectacular. They have to throw more energy here. I'm really thinking about it. Do I want to save my Bronzor? No, I'll let it go. So get a nice little chunk of lag there, and look to absolutely go to town farming down the Barboach, and able to farm it down before it can get to another charge move. So and what do you know, another Bronzor in the back, so going to be able to go to absolutely crunch away. I've got 2 shields. This game is over. They know that, and goodbye, out they go. So seen a lot of Bronzor, a lot of Cottony, and well, to be fair, a lot of Bronzor and a lot of Cottony. Deino, it was up there. Now I'm getting up into rank 7. There seems to be a lot less Deino running in this league. Yeah, which is fine. So next matchup, out comes a Alolan Vulpix. So not one that I want to matched up again. I do not want that matched up against my Deino. I'm going to let this go. So it is the Dark Pulse, which is not so great there. I'm going to look to farm this down. Unfortunately, I'm not able to farm it down before they're able to get to another charge move, and then I will take it down. Unfortunately, have to use a shield. So you're going to throw a quick bubble beam here, grab a shield, which is perfect, and I'm going to throw a second one here just to really go to town and drop that thing's attack. Was expecting it to charge me down. Luckily, I was able to get to another bubble beam, and they've shielded that up, so they're down a shield, and I've got a very, very debuffed Pokemon, so really happy. Out comes the Seal. So Seal is not running Lick, it is running Ice Shard. So a number of Seals do run Lick, and it's for this matchup because Lick's obviously going to do a lot more damage to the Bronzor than the Ice Shards will. So all of its charge moves are going to be fairly ineffective here. So Lick is the move that you want. As you can see, Ice Shard, Icy Wind does not a lot of damage, and so I will charge this down, look to get a little bit of extra energy, farm there, and then out comes the Perleon, and I'm just going to let this go at this point. I've got my Deino in the back. I want to save the shield for it. I don't think that they're actually, well, I know for a fact that they're not going to get there, and down it goes, and that is a good game right there. So another solid one there. Able to take game number 3, I think it was, and we'll jump into the next one. Again, leading the Chinchou. Out comes a Swablu, so a little bit of a different one there. Not terrible, not also the best. Thankfully, it was able to throw the bubble beam and grab a shield. I'm going to do the same. Aerial Ace is going to do a little bit of damage, but not a huge amount, if I'm completely honest. I'll throw another bubble beam, trying to get another shield. Was not able to get the shield. That's unfortunate. And then out comes a Deino. So they did wait a long time to switch that, so I'm able to bubble beam that before I switch out, and then I'll switch into my own and look to completely farm it down, which I am able to do. Out comes the Shelmet there, and I will throw my Dark Pulse, and not quite able to get to a Body Slam. So there, probably should have tried to throw back for back Body Slams, and I'm going to come out with my Chinchou and throw a Bubble Beam. So not able to grab a shield there. They're going to throw the Body Slam. It is, and say not grab a shield, that's because they don't have a shield for me to grab. Out comes my Bronzor, save a shield, and we'll see how we go. So Signal Beam doesn't do a lot of damage, and they're leaving the game. Good game right there. So obviously know that Bronzor with a shield is going to take that game. So saved us a bit of time, and left is always good to see. So we'll jump straight into the next one, see how we go. So this time we've got Shelmet on the lead. So again, not too bad for the Chinchou. So because I've not debuffed them, I am actually going to shield up this first Body Slam, and then I'm going to look to throw my own Bubble Beam. I grab a shield, which is absolutely spectacular. They're obviously, well, I thought they were obviously going to get to another charge move before I was able to. They didn't, so I was able to double debuff them before they got to that second Body Slam. So there goes the Body Slam, not doing a whole lot of damage, and I'm going to look to farm here and see if I can take them out. But the question is, can I get to my Thunderbolt before they get to another one? I can. Will I grab their last shield? No, I don't. So that's taking the lead match, which is really, really handy. Out comes their Bronzor, able to absolutely perfect get to another Bubble Beam to debuff them, which means I can mirror with my own, and obviously, well, I did not mirror with my own, so there's a bit of a difference. Was not expecting that one. So not going to shield this up, and it is the Psyshock, so that's absolutely spectacular for me. Going to over farm here and throw my own Crunch, and they've decided not to shield, so they went for the they tried to call the bluff, but it was not a bait. Go straight for the Crunch and able to take that out. Out comes a Ducklet in the back, so this is looking really, really solid for me here. Able to throw another Body Slam before they can get to a charge move, and able to take that game. So really comfortable there. A few unfortunate shielding decisions. Was able to go 5-0 in that set. and that got me to, well, rank 8. And let's jump in and see what we get in rank 8. So again, running Chinchou still, Bronzor and Deino, and we'll see what we hit in rank 8. So 5-0 to get me out of rank 7, which is really nice, and we'll jump into rank 8 and on the lead. So I don't really like this lead match. It's not ideal. I go straight for the Thunderbolt. And the reason for that, so usually I'm able to get to a Thunderbolt before they get to a charge move. In this instance, I wasn't able to. So I'm going to save my Thunderbolt and throw a bubble, just because it did take a bit longer to get there. Able to grab a shield with that bubble beam, so that's absolutely spectacular. And then no shielded the Thunderbolt, so absolutely perfect there. So the question is, do I want to use my second shield? Yes, I do. And they went the heavy slam, so that's an interesting play right there. I'm going to go for a bubble beam. Hopefully I grab a shield. Unfortunately I didn't, which means they're going to be able to charge me down. So they're going to be able to get to their Psy Shock before I'm able to get to my next charge move. I was really hoping to grab their last shield, and that's a really big play on their part and a really good call. So out comes Igglybuff, which is a not too bad. Usually running Feint Attack and Shadow Ball or a Wild Charge. So to be honest, this is probably going to be a Shadow Ball, which it is, and does huge amounts of damage there. So not looking ideal for me, and they're able to charge me down before I can get to another charge move. Out comes through comes the Body Slam, and it just does huge amounts of damage to me, and this is GG. So just absolutely schooled in that first game. Yeah, so would have been much better off not shielding up the Chinchou at the start there, letting that go, and then coming out to match with my own and having equal shield. So Cottony on the lead. So for this one, you should know how I play this by now. Go straight for the bubble beams. If they want to throw a charge move, I'll let this go. If they decide not to throw a charge move, I'll be able to get to a second bubble beam. So let's see. So they've countered them up there, and I'm just going to let this go. No point shielding this up. Let it go. Was able to debuff them once. They swap out into their own Bronzor, so I will swap out into my own Deino here, and the reason for that is you do not want Deino matched up against that Cottony. So going to go to town, no shield here, because you do not want health on the Deino either. There's absolutely no point having health on a Deino when it's going to be matched up against a Cottony, because it just absolutely shreds it. So there's the heavy slam. So not ideal. They're able to get to the heavy slam there, and then we're looking to farm down here. So unfortunately they're able to get to a charge move. I don't shield this up, and it is the Psy Shock, so that's absolutely massive. Let's see what they want to do. So I'm going to throw my Psy Shock here, just because I don't want them to get to another charge move. And then let's see what they want to do. So Cottony is in, but let's see what they've got. So out comes a Deino of their own. So not ideal for me, but I am up a shield. So really happy with that. Let's see what I can do here. So they swap into their own Cottony, and this has given me a absolutely fantastic win condition here. So I will throw this Psy Strike, and down it goes. So it did allow me to charge up a little bit of extra energy. I will shield this up, and we'll see how we go. So they've thrown the Body Slam bait there, which is not ideal for me. So win condition there would have been them to shield up the Cottony, but then not shielding gives me another win condition, because they decided to not shield the heavy slam and allowed me to win. Had they shielded that up, that's GG's right there. So they opened the door. They gave me two opportunities. So I sort of wasted my first, which is throwing that energy so early on the Cottony without charging up more, but then not shielding at the end was just GG. So really poor decision on their part. So into the next one, and Shelmet on the lead. So Body Slam, I want to shield that up, because I'm going to debuff, and I might as well shield up the first one, and then we'll be able to get to the Thunderbolt before they're able to get to their next charge move. Let's see if they get a shield. So they've shielded that up, so that's absolutely appalling for me. So really good play on their part, able to let that first one through, and shielding up the second one. So able to get to another charge move here, which is not ideal, and that's going to take me out. So we're on even shields, and let's see what happens here. So I bring out my Bronzor there. They've swapped into their own Bronzor, so I'm going to bring out my Deino to counter that. So Infestation from the Shelmet is going to be neutral because of the steel typing and psychic typing. So I bring out my Deino, they shield up the Crunch, which is the right play. Let's see what they want to do here. So I'm going to shield this up. It is the Heavy Slam, so good shield right there. And then I go straight for the charge move. Let's see what I get. So able to almost take that thing out. Get a little bit of extra farm. Let's see what they've got in the back. So waiting. Is it going to be? It is, unfortunately, Body Slam coming through and takes me out. So in comes my own Bronzor here, and we'll look to get to these charge moves. And because I saved all that energy on the Bronzor, I'm able to throw these charge moves. I want to throw these as quickly as possible because the Seal is going to look to throw an Icy Wind here and then debuff me. So let's see if they throw an Icy Wind. They do. It does absolutely no damage, but it does drop my attack, which will mean that they possibly have a chance. Obviously, one charge move from the Bronzor onto that Shelmet is going to be GG's. It's got no health left, and that's a good game right there. So able to take that one. So really happy with that. And wanted to avoid Shelmet being against my Deino, obviously being a dark type. The bug type moves are going to be super effective, so I want to avoid that again. So we've got Cubone on the lead here. A bit of a neutral matchup just because both Chinchou and Cubone are doing super effective damage to each other. I was able to get to my Bubble Beam before they're able to get to another charge move, which is really good, and they're going to let that one go and look to charge down. Unfortunately, not able to charge down, so I'm actually going to put in a shield here because this will allow me to win switch advantage. And then let's see if I can get to a charge move. I can get to the charge move on the Bronzor there, and I'm going to come out with my own Deino. So they've swapped into their Vulpix there, and that was sort of an instinctual swap. So in future, that was an awful decision to make. Should have stayed in with the Deino against the Vulpix, just because Vulpix is obviously going to be super effective against the Bronzor, so I want to overfarm just a fraction there, and then I'll look to take this thing out, and out comes their Bronzor, and I swap out here because I don't want them to farm me down. So out through comes the Heavy Slam, so not ideal for me, and going to look to land this Crunch, able to land the Crunch, and let's see what we get. Oof, so they're able to get to another charge move. Let's hope they weren't able to get to a Heavy Slam. Unfortunately, they were. I come through and I'm able to get to my own Psy Strike here, Psy Shock, and it does enough damage. So 1 HP and an absolute dream to take that match. So really good game there, and really happy with that match. Let's jump straight into the next one and we'll see what we get. So going pretty well so far. Got absolutely schooled in that first game, just made some poor shielding decisions and they made some good ones. So on the lead is a Shadow Growler. So really good for me. I'm going to shield this up because it's going to do a lot of damage just because it's a shadow. Going to look to not fully commit to taking this out, so it leaves me with one little extra move to farm them down, so which is really nice. Out comes the Cottony. So Cottony, really bad for me, but like I keep saying, I'd much rather have this thing out against my now than get it met my Deino meeting up with this. So going to look to swap in my Bronzor. They swap into a good old Puccina, and gonna obviously let that first move go. Look to completely farm this down and then throw into the Cottony. So I want to throw this charge move here. So this is really, really good for me. Cottony with a shield versus Bronzor with a shield, and obviously I've got all the health in the world. So this is GG's. So not going to shield this first one up, and they leave the game. They know it's good game right there, and save us a little bit of a dragged out match. So really good game right there, and able to go 4-1 in my second set and get rewarded with the rufflet. So I do have a video on excellent throws. I'll link that now. I'll also link the video that shows my playlist for the little cup. So if you want to check those out, check the links, and that would be spectacular. Able to rank up in 8 and looking to try and push my way into rank 10. So I think this is the season to do it. Let's be honest, Niantic's basically given it away. If you want to be ranked 10, play games this season. Everyone will get there if you commit to at least a few games every day. Yeah, so it is basically a guarantee to get there if you want to try. So definitely do it. I can't encourage you enough. If you want to get to rank 10, this is the season. So hopefully that was useful for someone. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.